My name is Bernard with Insurance Advisors Direct, and one of the dynamic duo of our life and annuity department. The other person here, we have Tyler Steinhoff. He's the other half of our life and annuity team. It's a special treat today. We have Chris Schieffer from True Choice. And what we're going to talk about today is how um, Medicare agents can cross over into life and annuities, but mainly life insurance on this discussion today, using a resource, using a tool that we all find effective. Tyler finds it effective. Chris finds it, and because we are life insurance agents ourselves. And what we're going to talk about is an in-force policy review that you can actually do now if all of you are meeting with your book of business, your Medicare book of business, just seeing how things are going, if their plans are still fitting their needs and, that sort of things. But this is the perfect time to also talk about the other services that you offer, be it because, and being with part of Insurance Advisors Direct. You offer life, you offer annuities, even if you may not sell it, but you can offer it. Like I say, life, annuities, critical illness, hospital indemnity, dental plans, the full gamut of financial planning outside of brokerage accounts, which we do not offer, or mutual funds, which we do not offer. You have a full scope of financial services products at your beck and call. And like I said, we're going to talk about how to effectively use an in-force policy review during this time now to meet with your clients. And we're going to have Chris Schieffer talk about that in-force policy review. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's nice to have you all here. So, Bernard, Tyler, myself, we've all spoken about this. We've had different reps that have had lots of success piggybacking on the main part of their business, right? On the core part of their business. And I'm going to let you know, there's a lot of people out there that get basically all of their leads, all the names, all their clients. A lot of them, or the biggest bulk of them, come from dealing with health insurance, Medicare, things of the such, the open enrollments that you all go through, those AEPs, all that sort of stuff. And what many of them do is they end up realizing, oh my God, I missed the boat because I don't let people know the other stuff I do, right? This is something that many of us need to work on and change our habits to make sure that we are very simply letting our clients know that we could help them with their current life insurance that they have. Okay. Um, and it's a very simple conversation. Now, again, Bernard, Tyler, they're going to have to talk about all the stuff with the nuance or the minutia around regulations and things. But the bottom line is all year long, you could let people know. And right now, leading up to AAP, there's no better time than to be calling your current clients that you're going to be giving them Medicare reviews and make sure to let them know, hey, I could give you a updated or a policy review on your current life insurance. Guys and gals, we're not sitting here trying to give them some sort of sales pitch. We're not trying to give them some sort of slick little way to make them think about getting insurance. We're very simply assuming, okay? We're assuming that they already have life insurance, okay? Here's where the nuance comes in for each and every one of you. And it's a very simple conversation of, hey, as my client, one of the things that we do is we help give people updates on their current life insurance. Your client's going to then say to you one of three things. They're going to say, okay, that sounds good. You could give me an update. That's simple and straightforward. The next thing they're going to say is, I have life insurance, but I have somebody else who works with me with that. Okay, that's good to hear. Now, you as the advisor, you as the Medicare person, what you're going to then say after that is, I got a question for you. When's the last time that you did speak to that advisor or to that insurance agent that sold you that life insurance? Do you talk with them throughout the year? Do you do an annual review with them every year? When's the last time you spoke to them? And let them answer, right? They might say, I haven't spoke to them since they sold it. Okay, well, maybe we should give you a review. The next thing that they're going to say is, hey, I have somebody else that does this insurance for me. Why do I need to do a review if I already have it? Well, your answer to them is this. We don't know what type of insurance they have, right? What we do know is they have insurance. So your answer to them is, well, you'd be surprised the amount of people that I give these reviews to, that they're either paying more money than they have to for their current insurance policy, or believe it or not, there's insurance policies that might not last as long as you do. Now, I told you there's three things they're going to say. That really the third thing that they might say is, I don't have life insurance. Okay. Now, I hope all of you on this call can see we're very simply telling people that you'd like to give them a review on their current life insurance policy. Very simply opens up a very simple conversation of either, I don't have it, and you could then ask them why, right? That's an opportunity for you. I do have it. I would love for you to give me a review. Now, in this case, all you're doing is you're trying to get a statement or as much information on the current policy over to Tyler and Bernard over at IAD, and you're letting them do the heavy lifting on putting together and see if there's a way we could put these folks in a better situation, right? Or they're going to say, yeah, I have life insurance and somebody else that's working with it, in which case that's where you just talk and see if it's worth to do the review if they're open to it. Everybody, I want you to know this here. Even if we can't put them in a better situation than they're currently in, I want you to understand this. You now took a step up that rung on the ladder of being a trusted advisor. Because here's what you did. You said, let me see this. You went back and looked at it. You came back to them and said, you know what? You're actually in really pretty good shape. You're in pretty good shape. You got a good plan, works good. Anybody else ever comes and says something to you, I'm letting you know I work with all the companies out there. You really don't need to do a review with anybody else. I'll gladly do it for you on a yearly basis if things change, but you're in good shape. What does this mean for you guys? Well, now when somebody calls them up to say, hey, I'd like to come by and talk to you about your Medicare policy, or I'd like to do this or do that, they're going to remember that you all are an honest, ethical person that went through and said, hey, I'm not just trying to sell stuff to people. I'm trying to help them out. Any way you take this situation, you come out smelling like roses. So the big thing here for everybody, and I think we're going to open this up to kind of some conversation back and forth, but the big thing here is this. How do we change your habits? How do you go about doing this? Because I got one really big question for you all. How would you feel about working with the same clients that you already have, right? How would you like to work with the clients that you're going to be seeing through AAP, okay, and make an extra $100,000 a year? Because I'm here to tell you that's what you could do. One of the guys I work with, the biggest portion of his business, every single lead that he works with throughout the year comes from AEP. He asks them this simple question, lets them know that he works with that stuff. Then after the holidays and everything, and he doesn't wait on all of them, but the majority of them, because of some of the rules around this, and again, this is a conversation for you all, come January, that's when he starts calling them and talking about this. I'll let you know, this gentleman makes an additional $300,000 a year by simply asking people if he could give them a review on their life insurance or learn more about their financial picture. Now, some of you might be sitting there saying, hey, that's not what I do. I don't know how to do that. I'm worried about doing that. Don't be. That's why you work with the guys over at IAD. They are going to do the heavy lifting for you. Remember, we're not doing this face-to-face with the client. You're getting information, taking it back to the office to have it reviewed and see if there's something that can be done better. And then you'll know exactly what you're saying going back. Now, to take this a step further, the guys over at IAD, Tyler, Bernard, they have some sheets that they could get to you as well. Now, I'm not really big on putting roadblocks in the way of myself when I'm trying to help clients and move forward. And I know during AEP, you guys are very busy. Okay. But we do have some forms that if your client ends up having a pretty in-depth policy or whatever, you could get the form signed by them and we could get in-force illustrations. Okay. You do have to do a little bit of work to where you got to get that form signed. You got to get the policy number and some information. But then what'll happen is Bernard and Tyler could go out there, get it to the companies that they work with and ask for an in-force illustration. And we could then assess things that way as well. But don't think that you have to do that all the time. Okay. It's really about the very simple question with every single person you're talking to about, hey, I want to let you know, as a client of mine, one of the biggest things that my business does, one of the biggest things my clients really like is that I will give them a free review on the other policies that they have. So that's what I have to say for that right now. Does that make sense to everybody? Do we got any questions? Bernard, should we open this up for questions, or what should we do here?
Yeah, let's open it up. I think Tyler's going to have to do that on his end. Let's see, Warren has a question. I think you can go on there and then just open it up. Oh, there you go, Warren.
I wanted to say that what you're saying is exactly correct. Back when I had my independent insurance agency, I would have homeowners reviews and also talk to people about auto insurance. And at the end of those reviews, I would always ask them, what have you done as to reviewing your life insurance? Has your agent reviewed it with you? And they would say never. And it ended up that by doing that, I ended up being the top agent. And you guys won't remember this company, Home Mutual Life and Secura Life, because they were gone years and years ago. But I was a top agent in the state of Michigan for them. And it won me 1 year, 4 trips to the Caribbean. And all I did was ask that question. And I found that the beneficiaries were wrong. One of them I did with one of my employees and found that her mother had 9 accident policies. Sadly, she died of cancer. And there was nothing there for the family. So, those are the types of things when you, as an agent, you need to really look at doing the service. And it doesn't take any extra time, but it makes you a bunch of money. But it makes them so close to you because you care. I recently, we went through a fire last year and we lost our home and I had to move over to Flat Rock. And one day, one of my neighbors is driving down the block and they stopped and said, "Howdy, neighbor." And I said, "Hi, I'm Warren McLeod." And I just reached in to shake his hand. And his wife says, "We know Warren." And I said, and I looked down and I said, "Ray Palmatier, I've seen you in 25 years. He says, and his wife says, "We were going to call you, Warren, because of what you did years and years ago, Ray was able to retire 5 years early. And we wanted to thank you." That's unbelievable. And that's why you do this business. Hope that helps.
I agree with you. Agree with you 100%. It's sometimes we all get stuck in our own way with certain things. I mean, if I were to let everybody on this phone call know, full disclosure, I was talking to Bernard earlier today. And I completely understand that we all have like our core business. We have our comfort zone and we know what we do, where we're really good. But let's remember, the truth of the matter is we do have licenses to help people with other things, okay? We are all always hunting for more clients and ways to help people out and do things. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel, right? Mm-hmm. I came in this business in 1998 with the Prudential. And when I was with the Prudential, what I learned how to do was to sell life insurance, financial plans, work with small businesses, and work with families that had estate tax issues. So I was very much on the financial side, right? Opening up mutual fund accounts, opening up brokerage accounts, selling stocks, selling life insurance, helping businesses with retirement plans, things like this. This is what I was doing. Now, I want to let you know something. I was a young rep in this business. And what I did was I very simply said, hey, my business can grow. And what I started doing, now at the time it was different then. This was 1998. We didn't have the Affordable Care Act and that sort of stuff, right? Every state had their different companies for health insurance that were good. I'm in Illinois. Illinois, it happened to be Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. But what I did was I just started letting my clients know, hey, your kids that get done with college, at that time they weren't able to stay on their parents' insurance. They had to get a job and get that. Um, my wife at the time owned 4 daycares. So I got into this thing of going to women owned places and letting them know that I could help them with their health insurance. And ultimately what happened was, by me starting to tell people that, it was unbelievable. Just simply saying it to them, even though it wasn't a core part of my business, it grew my business exponentially. Okay. And so, but what it was I had to get out of my own way and I had to build the habit. And the habit had to be built that every day I was at least saying to a couple of people, I could help you with this as well. And that's what I want to really drip on all of you today with this, is don't feel that this is some sort of internal battle of you're changing what your core is. You're changing what you like to do. No. All you're doing is actually being a better, more professional representative. Don't take that as I'm not saying anything bad when I say that. I'm, as myself too. But all we're doing is letting them know, hey, you guys trust me with your health insurance. And the work that you folks do on taking care of these people with their Medicare when they come to retirement, on making sure their drug plans are in place and all that stuff, that's good work. That's important work. Okay. But let's make sure that you're letting them know, hey, a service I do for all my clients that's free to you is I'll give you this review. All you need to do is get me your most recent statement. You don't have your statement? Okay, you got your policy? You don't have your policy. Do you know who it's with? What's your premium? How much face amount do you have? Hey, maybe we could get on the phone when the time's right. And again, talk to Tyler and Bernard about these rules. I don't know them. And call the company and figure out what's going on over there. But I promise each and every one of you, if you do this, you'll find your income go up by 100,000. Okay? That's what you will find happening. If you start doing the math with the amount of Medicare cases that you're right, the amount of Medicare clients that you currently have, imagine doing reviews with all of them and having new income of $2,000 to $3,000 per person come to you. Start doing the math. Okay? All right. I hope that helps. Is there any other questions? Or Bernard, you want to say something? Or is Tyler hopping in? Or
Yeah, we'll have Warren has something else he wants to get across. So
An idea that I used years and years ago, because I started as a farmer's agent back in 1978. I had my dad weld 3 large washers together that would sit on my desk. And that's pretty ugly when you think about it. But I carried 3 washers in my pocket, the size of a quarter. And as I would go through lines at the grocery store or things like that, or through the day, my responsibility was to move those 3 washers from one side of my pants pockets to the other side, because that told me I asked 3 people about life insurance. It works. And if you need just a little reminder every day to get yourself in the habit, do it. It's simple, it's easy, doesn't take any extra from you. And people will ask you, why do you have a washer in your pocket? So it's just an idea.
sure, I completely agree with it. It's just a matter of asking, right? If we don't ask, we don't get. And again, it's habit. It's about forming the habit.
One note I'll make, and then we can wrap up. I'll call all these folks here and be happy to answer your questions. But we all do know this year there's a lot of changes in the Medicare space, and a lot of agents are going to play defensively. I know a lot of people in this industry that do all sorts of things, and I know folks at call centers as well. The call center, and I won't say them by name, but specifically has doubled their marketing dollars for the year because they see what's coming. They see a lot of opportunity to lure people in and change plans and such during AEP. They're expecting a great AEP this year. The people they're going to go after are all your folks' clients, all your clients. Those folks are who they're going after. That's their market. So the best way that you can hold on to things and another way to play defensively outside of just being the Medicare guru, instead of a one-stop shop, oh, they just handle my Medicare. Tyler just does my Medicare. This is a easy, repeatable, doable process that you don't have to learn anything. You don't have to hop on a series of webinars to learn the products. You don't have to take a deep dive into a brochure. It's an easy question to ask and position during this period to add value to you as an agent and secure maybe even more policies on this client. Because we all know that the more policies on the client, the less likely they are to leave. And it's as Chris said, even if it goes nowhere, even if you have a client and they're just in the perfect plan, they're good to go, it adds value to you because no other agent is going to ask them. They're just going to slam through the Medicare and be done. It comes January, they won't hear from. That just be different than the rest, especially this year with the things going on outside of our control. And with that, we could probably wrap things up, let everyone go. It is a busy time of year. I will call you all today. We both will. And if you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer and get you forms if you need it to help you. Chris, thanks for hopping on. And Warren, thanks for your input. And Bernard, thanks for putting this together.
Hey, I want to finish with one thing. One last thing. Tyler said something about forms. Forms are great. He'll get them to you. But I want to end this with, let's be very, very simple. Just ask the question. Just ask the question, and you'll be good to go. All right.
Yep. So yeah, folks, thank you for attending. And see, Vikram, yes, this is being recorded. It will be uploaded on our YouTube page probably in a couple of days or so. And then the other part of your question is, yep, you can't sell life insurance or any other products, but you can tell folks this is other services that I offer. And then, like I said, when Tyler calls you, you can go more in depth with that. But yeah, all you can just like, look, thank you for allowing me to handle your Medicare enrollments. But I also offer these other plans as well. I also offer life insurance. And then so you can say that, but just can't sell anything. And like Tyler was speaking, I guess we do have forms that you can actually drop off to folks after you complete their enrollment saying, these are the other services that I offer. And then they can call you to set up an appointment anytime, or if you want to call them, it have to be after December 7th. So yeah, no, you're good to go, my friend. So yeah, this is a short, sweet webinar. We're going to have some more actually talking about how you can, when you're in a Medicare enrollment during AEP, to talk about the other service you offer, and then how to set that appointment. So that'll be coming up down the road right before AEP begins. So, folks, thank you for your time. Oh, and as a little surprise, we are working on an incentive because this is Life Insurance Awareness Month. And so we're going to work on an incentive for you guys to, when you're offering those life policies, or actually getting life policies in from now until probably December 7th. So stay tuned for that, my friends. All right, so folks, again, thank you. Going to get a phone call from Tyler to go more in depth about what we talked about, the enforce policy reviews. So everybody have a great September, great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Take care.